Namaskar everyone. Today we are going to study reproduction in organisms. Let's start with the term lifespan. It is a time period of an organism. Start with birth to natural death. So, lifespan is a time period of an organism from birth to natural death. It varies according to the organism, not according to their body size. For example, crow, its lifespan is of 15 years. But parrot, its lifespan is of 140 years. Similarly, butterfly, lifespan is of only 1 to 2 weeks. And banyan tree, lifespan 1000 of years. Now, lifespan is a time period of an organism from birth to natural death. Some examples are these. They vary according to the organism to organism, not according to their body size. Next term is reproduction. Reproduction is a biological process by which an organism can produce offspring similar to itself. Reproduction is a biological process by which an organism can produce offspring similar to itself so that it can maintain its species just like the organism. Reproduction is of two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves two parents, but asexual reproduction includes single parent. Sexual reproduction include division, meiosis, as well as mitosis, but asexual reproduction only mitosis division take place in it. Gamete formation take place in sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, gamete can produced or not. There are both type of possibilities. Next difference between the sexual and asexual reproduction is fusion of gamete take place in sexual reproduction, but in asexual reproduction no fusion of gametes take place. In sexual reproduction, morphology means appearance and genetically, morphologically and genetically, offspring show variation, but in asexual reproduction, offspring are exact copy of the parent. Next one is, due to genetic variation, they are useful in evolution. But they are exact copy of parent, so they are not useful in evolution. Next one is, the rate of reproduction slow here and rate of reproduction is fast. As sexual reproduction take place mostly in higher plants, and higher animals. But asexual reproduction takes place in lower vertebrates and non-chordates. In sexual reproduction, reproductive cells take part, but asexual reproduction, only somatic cells or vegetative cells take part in asexual reproduction. Now, some functions of reproduction that prove that reproduction is very important for existence of species on this. First one is existence of life. Reproduction is very important for the protection of existence of life. That's why one generation produce next generation, then next, so that protection of existence of life take place with the help of reproduction. Second one is continuity of a species. Reproduction maintain the continuity of various species like plant species, animal species. As plant produce next generation of that plant, animal produce next generation of that plant. So that's why species continuity maintained by the reproduction. Next one is population organization. Population organized with the help of reproduction by regulating different stages of life like infants, adolescents, adults and old age person. Thus, population organization take place with the help of reproduction. Next one is substitution. Reproduction substitute the organism that have lost their life as natural death or accidental death. So, reproduction substitute that organism by the production of new organism. Now, asexual reproduction. First of all, asexual reproduction take place with the help of only single parent. Asexual reproduction performed both by plants as well as animals. In plants, it is known as vegetative reproduction. In higher plants, but in lower plant like algae, some of the algae which perform asexual reproduction by other means. Animals, asexual reproduction take place mostly in unicellular as well as some of the multicellular organisms. Now, different kind of asexual reproduction and how asexual reproduction take place we are explained. Asexual reproduction, only a single parent participate in this asexual reproduction. The individual does not produce gamete and hence there is no fusion of gamete. Mostly adject copy of the parent so these are sometimes known as clone. Clone is a term which defined as morphologically as well as genetically similar organisms. Clones are the morphologically and genetically similar organisms and generally produced with the help of asexual reproduction are known as clone. The term clone we study in biotechnology, but asexual reproduction produce the organisms just like clone because they are morphologically and genetically similar to its parent. In asexual reproduction, two divisions we see. First one is mitosis and second one is amitosis. Generally we study in asexual reproduction mitosis division. Amitosis division participate in Monera group of organism. Here no spindle formation, no spindle fiber formation take place. Single cell divide directly into two cells. This is amitosis. Mitosis division where spindle fiber take place. Same number of chromosome from parent to offspring goes. Here single cell divide into two with the help of spindle fiber and equal distribution of chromosome. Next is types of asexual reproduction. Types or modes of asexual reproduction. These are a large number of types. First one is through fission. Fission is of two types, binary as well as multiple. In binary fission, a single-celled organism divide into two halves and each half grow into adult. An example of this, amoeba. Second is multiple fission. A single-celled organism divide into many offsprings or daughter cells and each of this daughter cell form adult. An example of this is plasmodium. So binary fission, single cell divide into two. Multiple fission, single cell divide into multiple of cells. Second one is budding. Budding include an organism develop. For example, this is an organism. It develop a small outgrowth in its body. This is known as bud. And it separate from that organism and develop into a mature organism. This occur in yeast hydra. So the budding in this type of asexual reproduction, organism develop a small outgrowth on its body. This is known as bud and it separate out from parent organism and develop into a mature organism. An example is yeast and hydra. Next, third one is with the help of zoospores. These are microscopic, unicellular and motile structures. Motile means movable structures. They bear one or more flagella for locomotion. Flagellated flagella for locomotion. For example, Chlamydomonas. This is an algae. Now, with the help of zoospore, asexual reproduction take place. These are microscopic unicellular motile structures and move with the help of flagella and asexual reproduction take place in these type of structures in Chlamydomonas. Fourth one is through conidia. These are non-motile microscopic structure but spherical. Spherical microscopic non-motile structures, or we can say these are a type of a spore. Each conidium germinate to form a fungal hypha. Fungal hypha which germinate a new fungus. Example is penicillium, also aspergillus. Again, conidia are non-motile microscopic spherical structures. Each conidium germinate to form fungal hypha. Example is penicillium and aspergillus. Next one is fragmentation. An organism, for example, this is an organism split into fragments, and each fragment develop into a mature, fully grown individual. And these type of organisms grow with the help of mitosis division. Example is Spirogyra. So, fragmentation, an organism split into different fragments, and each of these fragments develop into mature, fully grown individual with the help of mitosis division. Example is Spirogyra. Next one is regeneration. It is a process of replacement or repair of any lost or damaged part of organism of. For example, this is an organism and this part of this organism is lost due to some damage. This is grown with the help of regeneration process. And this type of reproduction comes under asexual reproduction. It can occur at the level of cells, tissues, and organs. For example, protozoal, and poriferan. These two groups have high ability to regenerate. But in coelentrates, regeneration capacity very high. For example, when hydra cut into many parts, each part can give a new organism. This is different from fragmentation. This regeneration involves only the repair of that damaged part. But in fragmentation, each part can produce a new individual. Here in hydra, if I cut down some part of it, then only the repairment of this part take place. Another example is planaria. It also have a high ability to regenerate. In echinodermata, like starfish, they can regenerate their arms. Next one is gamete, or with the help of gamma cup. These are also known as internal bud and develop into the body of sponges. So this type of asexual reproduction occur in sponges. It come out from the body and then form a complete new sponge. Example, poriferans. Next one is sporulation. Means with the help of spores. Formation of spores take place in the sporulation process. It occurs when an organism divides by multiple fission and forms several units. These individually surrounded by a resistant wall, or we can say cyst. Before they release from the parents. This type of process is known as sporulation, and these individually are known as spores. They remain inactive in unfavorable conditions. When the condition becomes favorable, the cyst or this wall rupture and the young one come out and grow into an adult. So this is just not mean of the reproduction, but enable the organism to survive under the unfavorable conditions. Example, all the organisms from multiple fission. Next one is vegetative propagation. Or vegetative reproduction or asexual reproduction in plants. This term is frequently used in plants, and the plant part or unit of vegetative propagation are known as vegetative propagule. So the plant part which undergo for the vegetative propagation are known as vegetative propagules. Various kind of vegetative propagation we study in this chapter, but in our next class.